Welcome to Warhammer Warscroll Review. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Soul Blight Warscroll, the Vampire Lord.
Warscroll Review.
While not quite what it used to be, the Vampire Lord is a decent death character unit in Age of Sigmar. It is a 5-inch move, 5 wounds, and a 4-up save, meaning for a support character, it's fairly durable. The model's melee weapon, the Spirit-Possessed Blades, offer 4 attacks with Ren 1 and damage D3. Again, not bad for a support character, but like other support characters, the model should avoid combat. The model has a choice between 2 special rules. The Vampire Lord can either be mounted on a Nightmare, or can have the Flying Horror special rule. The Vampire Lord on Nightmare increases the model's movement to 10 inches, and gives the model another melee weapon. The Nightmare's melee weapon is pretty pointless though. Flying Horror also increases the model to movement 10, but also gives the character the Fly special rule. In most cases, Flying Horror is going to be more effective than the Nightmare. The Vampire Lord has 2 methods to heal itself. The Hunger is a rule that activates when the vampire slays a model in the combat phase. Each time the rule activates, it heals 1 wound back. The Chalice of Blood is another rule the vampire can use. The Chalice can be activated once per battle and heals back D6 wounds. If the death player can wait until the model's last wound, they can potentially make the most of this rule, but sometimes it'll be better to play it safe and use the Chalice after the model has only taken a few wounds. Though the model only has 5 wounds, it's possible to keep it alive for quite a while through these special rules. Vampire Lords are also wizards and can bind and unbind 1 spell a phase. Their signature spell, Spirit Blight, casts on a 6 and subtracts 1 attack from the melee weapons for an enemy unit within 18 inches. This spell is fairly potent at disabling a powerful enemy unit. More specifically, Monster's Cavalry is hit pretty hard by this, as they often rely on both the rider and the mount's attacks. The spell affects all weapons carried by the unit. The Vampire Lord's command trait complements their spell well. Blood Feast can be used on a death unit within 15 inches, and increases their attack by 1 on each melee weapon. Put this on a unit of Blood Knights or Necropolis Knights, or even a large unit of Skeletons, Zombies, or Spirit Hosts. For Skeletons and Zombies, the ability pairs well with the Necromancer's spell, Dance Macabre, making the models swing twice with their extra attacks. This is one of the few places Death has access to this kind of ability, and is fairly potent. The only problem will be making this guy the General, when there will likely be some other big nasty monster riding character to choose. In any case, the model is a fairly cheap wizard at 140 points, and is a bit better than many other wizards since it can defend itself. Plus the character's command ability and spell are pretty good. Vampire Lords don't really need any support, as they themselves are a support character. That being said, there are a few ways to synergize with the Vampire Lord. A Soul Blight faction will offer a bit to Vampire Lords. Bloodlines should be chosen based on the rest of the army, but Necromantic would give the vampires a boost to cast spells. If the Lord is the army general, it can choose the command trait Curse of the Revenant. This is a simple ability that would give the Vampire Lord a 6th wound. The vampire's regenerative abilities would be enhanced by the Scabbing Plate. The item would heal the model back a wound every fight phase it deals a wound. In a Death Grand Alliance, the model can further debuff enemy models with the Cursed Book. The item would reduce enemy to hit rolls within 3 inches, but can expose the vampire to unwanted combats if the death player is not careful. The Ring of Immortality would also keep the Lord alive longer. The artifact would allow the player to roll a die when the model is slain. On a 3-up, the model returns to the field with D3 wounds. A Vampire Lord may not benefit much from it, but it can be included as an ally in a Night Haunt army, offering the faction a cheap wizard option. Vampires are flexible and can fill the role of wizard, support character, and general, all in one. The Vampire Lord receives a 4 out of 5. The model is a pretty decent support character and can keep itself somewhat safe through its regenerative abilities. What do you think of the Vampire Lord? What Warscroll would you like to see reviewed next on the channel? Leave your thoughts and answers in the comments below, and thanks for watching.